400 sessions per week. That's the volume at Personal Edge Fitness, 400 personal training sessions per week. And that's spread across a myriad of trainers. As you may know, we co-train every client here because, as I've said in the past, we have the most qualified staff in the Southeast, and we possibly have the top personal trainer in the Southeast on our schedule, but nobody's as good as our team. So those sessions actually have to be split amongst our entire staff. There's also reschedules. People have to change their schedule. There's also changes in vacation schedules for staff. There's also our social media accounts, letting everybody know what we're up to, the volunteer work that we do, our blood drives, answering the phone, greeting people, setting up consults. It's quite a few moving parts. Well, none of that would come to pass if we didn't have a fantastic integrator in our administrative assistant, possibly the first person you will ever meet at Personal Edge Fitness. So we thought we'd take a chance to introduce everyone to our administrative assistant, Arika Leech, today on the Personal Edge Fitness Podcast. Good day and welcome to the Personal Edge Fitness Podcast. This is Garrett Williamson, president of Personal Edge Fitness and your host of the podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. And with me today is the person that makes everything run. This is our administrative assistant, Arika Leech. Arika, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Hi.
So glad to have you. We're going to learn all about Arika today. But before we do so, I want to tell you how to get in touch with the show. Now, a couple weeks ago, we did a show that was a result from a listener's question. So I always encourage you, if you have any questions about dispelling the myths of health, fitness, or wellness, or have any question about any of our podcasts, feel free to reach out to us at area code 251-278-3343. That's 251-278-EDGE. You can also reach out to us via my email address, which is Garrett, Garrett, at personaledgefitness.com. That, of course, is our website and our Facebook page, Personal Edge Fitness. Hit me up on Twitter at Team PE if you're so inclined. As I said in the intro, not only do we have a lot of moving parts here. Our schedule is just one of them. And actually, when we started thinking about this position a couple of years ago that we really needed to add in order to grow the company, we didn't realize the volume of work that this position, this person would be taking on. And we're so glad that we put an ad out and we got introduced to Miss Arika Leech. So I really appreciate you joining us today and appreciate you accepting that ad. Before we get into that, let's find out, where are you from?
I'm from Biloxi, Mississippi. Grew up there and moved to Mobile about 4 years ago. My husband and I got married almost 4 years ago. His name is John, and he's wonderful.
Right. How did y'all meet?
We met through a mutual friend. So my best friend from college is from Mobile.
Okay.
And she was in town visiting almost 8 years ago. I came to visit her.
Right.
She invited John out to have dinner with us to kind of kill two birds with one stone and catch up with both of us. And
right.
We met, and that got married 4 years ago. And now we have 3 crazy kids, and we're busy.
Very much so. So I would say we got together, and I would use the word smitten, but I'm not going to say that here in front of you here. I don't want to embarrass you. So
we were definitely smitten. It's okay.
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
We still are.
Wonderful.
Most
wonderful.
of the time.
So, yeah, I understand marriage too, definitely.
Yes.
So, and y'all have been married, what, 4 years now, you said?
4 in May.
4 in May.
Yes.
Fantastic. John's a great guy. And what does John do?
He is an attorney here in town.
Right. And a wonderful addition to the team. We don't see him enough, I'll say that. So, but glad he's part of our family also. So, tell me about your kids.
So I have 3 kids. Oldest is Brody. He is 13. And then our second child is John Harmon, and he's 2. And then we have baby Parker, who he just turned 9 months old.
Right.
So we're busy. Brody, we call him the teenager.
Okay.
Super helpful. Sometimes we nickname him the third parent.
And I can attest to that. He is an awesome big brother. I mean, he's a fantastic big brother. So actually, you had Parker shortly before our summer party, and I was so glad you actually came to the summer party. He was literally attached. We got pictures of him. He was literally attached to you, and brought Brody. And Brody was. I told him that day. I said, I am so impressed. What an awesome big brother he is. So
he's proud. He takes it very seriously. His brothering skills.
Okay. You weren't doing this work before. I know that.
Right.
I know that you did that. And we put an ad together. I have to tell you that and I don't know if I've told you this, but when we put this together, we're really good. We've been fantastic over 23 years about hiring trainers. We know exactly what we're looking for. And to maintain the brand, to maintain the quality of staff, we know how to do that. This was a departure for us. I mean, a real departure for us. And I don't know if you know this, but we had over 30 applications for this position.
Ooh, no, I didn't know that.
But the neat thing about this, everyone, and I don't know if Arika knows this or not, we interviewed one, we hired one. I mean, we
Didn't
interviewed
know
one
that.
and hired one. We knew exactly you were the perfect fit for it. So, but why? Why were you looking? Why did you take this position?
Well, I remember when I saw the ad on Indeed and was up late, just looking around. My husband was working, and I came across Personal Edge Fitness administrative assistant. And reading the description, it was something like, "Are you wanting to get out of the boring, mundane, like
Right.
9 to 5? Do you enjoy a healthy and active lifestyle? Like, do you love fitness?"
Right.
Reading all of those points, I was like, yes, this is too good to be true. It's like I dreamed this up. So I was reading it off to John and telling him, like, this is perfect. This is the perfect fit for me because I am and always have been very passionate about health and fitness, and
Right.
would prefer to work in that industry. And then the administrative side of it is a skill that I had from my previous job that
Right.
I also really enjoyed. So just kind of taking the best of both worlds and combining them into this position, it was perfect, and I was super excited to apply. And I remember calling the facility to say that I had applied and
Right.
was checking on it and left a message. And so when I interviewed and got the job, I was super excited and thought long and hard about it and didn't take the decision lightly.
Sure.
But it just, like you said, it was a great fit, and
Right.
now it's been almost 2 years. It's flown by, and I really enjoy it. I'm really happy to be here.
We were talking. It's funny how that is. We were talking about before we did the podcast, and I had to ask Eric. I said, "How long have you been here?" It's almost 2 years. I was like, "Wow," because I can't honestly. And I'm not just trying to make you feel good. It's I can't think of how we operated without having you in this position. And we if you remember, this is what I liked about it, because I knew this interview was going to be tough. And the reason it's going to be tough, not that you're that intimidating, but we'd never hired this position before, and so we thought we knew what we needed and what your job description would be. But if you remember, if I gave you anything, I just gave you a listing, and then I told you, by the way, a lot could be added to this.
Yes, I do remember that.
Right. And I mean, that's how unsure, actually how unsure we were about hiring for this position. The reason I bring that up is that you pass with flying colors. And I mean, it's amazing the things that you have taken on. So scheduling, definitely, answering the phone, but I mean, the marketing stuff, the social media stuff that you're running for us and what have you. So what has been the biggest challenge so far in the position?
Biggest challenge, probably just staying in my lane, focusing on, knowing when I need to focus on, scheduling and talking to clients, and when I need to kind of tuck away and work on some of the marketing and social media, and just kind of managing my time there. I would say, just as long as I, stay on track, then things are good.
Well, if you've messed up, we haven't noticed. So that makes you feel better. So
it does. So.
Erica is also, the reason I said that in the intro that probably the first person you're going to meet is that Erica also schedules all of our consultations when people contact us via online or what have you. And then handles all the trainers always, I'm famous for saying this now, that they don't like it, they being not only Erica, but also the directors don't like it when I mess with the schedule. And so I have to ask Erica to schedule everything for me because she handles it so well. But when you came on board, that's one, I'm going to get off the subject in a minute, but the scheduling, because we see so many sessions, and not only do we have so many sessions, but there's the intermixing of the different trainers and what have you. So did you find that to be a challenge when you started or whatever? Or how long did it take you to kind of grasp all of that?
No, I wouldn't say it was a challenge. I really enjoyed that aspect of it, actually. Just kind of putting together, this client would be a great fit for this trainer and vice versa, or, just knowing personalities and knowing that, this client would be really successful with this trainer, or this client might not mesh very well with the personality of this trainer, and just kind of keeping that in mind.
Right.
And that also helps me to, take the personalities, and because I get to know all of our clients on a friendly and personal level, so I can kind of take all of that and throw it into scheduling. I'm very organized. I like things to be neat and tidy and organized. So I, just keeping that in mind when scheduling. Sometimes it's like a puzzle. Right. So I enjoy that part.
Well, I always call that schedule gymnastics, because I think that's a puzzle. That's exactly what it is as far as putting that together. And what saying about organized and Gia's, I mean, this runs like a well-oiled machine because you are so organized. I mean, there's not a time that I come down and say, hey, by the way, I wanted to ask you about something or whatever. You don't whip your pen out, and you've got your pad there and your notebook there, which and has, and I've noticed that it has all kinds of different notes in it in certain areas and what have you. But having that organization, what keeps us running. I've said this before, that as far as visionary and coming up with the different ideas as far as personal training, I'm great at that. But nothing would move forward if I didn't have fantastic integrators. And by adding Arika to our staff, we've been able to grow by volumes. In fact, and I think I shared this with you, but sat down with the directors at the end of the year last year, and we came off a fantastic year and worked with a lot of people, and I asked everybody, what was the number one reason why we were so successful? And the number one reason every single director said was hiring Arika. So, and you've lived up to it, I promise you. But it's not just scheduling, though. I mean, and this is what I'm so proud that and so appreciative that you took that ... at the end of the job description that I gave you and ran with it, because we've thrown a lot of things with you. I mean, one thing, I mean, the podcast. Mm-hmm. The editing the podcast, social media, of all that, what has been either challenging, what have you enjoyed? Give us an idea of some of the things you do day to day.
So I really enjoy that I have multiple different things to juggle. Right. Which I wear a lot of hats sometimes at work and outside of work. But not having to sit at the desk for the entire time focusing on one single thing. I like that there's multiple projects going on, and that my day is kind of split up.
Keeps it from being boring, I would guess.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
And I mean, you're doing a lot. Not only are you and I doing things together, but there's so many times I walk down to the consult room, and you and Josh, I mean, y'all have taken the social media and just run with it. Y'all were in there this morning, and this is fantastic. I love it. You talk about a well-oiled machine and running the place right. And when they pull me aside and say, "Listen, this is what we need from you," they give me homework, but I appreciate it, because that's what actually keeps us running. And you can thank her for not only the podcast, but also the different information that comes out about Personal Edge on social media. That's largely Arika that does that. So, which I greatly appreciate. What's been your favorite event, favorite time, favorite day, favorite memory so far in the 2 years?
Favorite memory. I don't know if I could narrow it down to just one. I love the high energy. Energy is contagious. There's always good vibes in here from the staff and also the clients. So I really enjoy, the positive vibes, and we're like a family here. The culture is amazing here.
Thank you.
And so I look forward to that every day, and it's nice to be able to come to work and be in a positive culture like that, where we're a family, and we're here to help each other and get through things together, and so it's really nice. I think that would have to be my favorite thing.
Yeah, I appreciate that, and you are. Arika does something that I struggle with, and then that is that I don't think I've ever heard you say negative things about anybody. I mean, you're always upbeat. You're always, and I've had clients tell us this about coming in, seeing a smiling face, and what that means. That adds so much to our culture. And I've said several times on the podcast, I mean, that's probably, wouldn't you agree? I mean, Lord, you've been here for 2 years now. You talk to clients more than anybody else does, the more clients than anybody else does. Don't you agree that our culture is the reason for our success?
It's unlike anything else.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm glad to hear that. Definitely. Okay. not only are you okay helping run the business, or basically making sure we stay on track, but your exercise regimen.
Yes.
I mean, that's a daily thing. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes. So since working here, I have gotten to experience working with a trainer, personal trainer, one-on-one training session, up to 3 times a week. And I think I've worked with just about everybody so far.
All the good trainers, at least.
Yeah. Only the good ones. But no, it's been fun.
Good.
So I've gotten to, set different goals as far as strength training. Definitely been doing a lot more strength training. I got to work out my entire pregnancy with Parker, and that was great. It definitely helped throughout my pregnancy and recovery, and
well, you also something else that you did, and I was so appreciative that you were agreeable to this, and that is that since Arika talks to so many people and setting up consults and talks to so many of our clients, we wanted her to have an experience with all the aspects. We as trainers, we know what a training session is like, but we don't know it from a client's perspective unless we interview clients. And I wanted somebody on staff that gets it from a client's perspective, and but not only in person.
Online.
But you do online sessions. Yeah. And how's that been?
It's actually been really fun. I was a little skeptical at first, as anybody would be if you've never trained online or virtually before. But the trainers here, and especially Josh, I mean, they knock it out of the park. It's not awkward at all. It goes by really fast. I mean, sometimes I feel like I'm working hard, but it goes by so fast that it's fun, and I look forward to it, and never thought that I would recognize like kind of the therapeutic side of it. But just like having someone to talk to while you work out, and they say they're counting reps, but I don't know about that.
Some of this you're supposed to keep behind the desk, except for the fact that I've said many times that we can't count, so you found out firsthand.
Hey, you said it, not me.
Right, exactly. Well, and I've said it many times. I might as well fall on my sword on that one. So, all right. So, okay, tell us also your educational background, because you're the first staff member that we've ever hired outside of you're the first staff member we've hired that doesn't have a fitness degree and fitness background. So,
so I went to Southern Miss in Hattiesburg. Actually went to college for art. I don't know why I don't do anything with that.
I beg to differ, but go ahead.
But went to school in Hattiesburg, and like I said, I've always been passionate about health and fitness. It's kind of been my hobby until I had 3 kids, and now surviving kids is my hobby, I think. But
that's, I mean, and it's a great hobby too. You have 3 fantastic kids, that's for sure. So, and not only do you have 3 fantastic kids, but you also have even a newer addition than Parker.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
tell us about your newer addition.
3 kids and a cat. We thought it would be fun to get a dog.
Of course. So, where did you find a dog?
There happens to be this lady named Stephanie.
Right.
I think you might know her.
Yes, and very intimately.
She is the director of Save a Stray, the rescue organization, foster and rescue organization here in Mobile.
Right.
And I think it was a Wednesday night. I texted her and said, "Hey, I know you're really good at matching the humans up to the dogs.
Right.
So if you meet a dog that you think would be a good fit for my family, and my husband and I both work and kids and all the things, let me know." And the next morning she said, "I want you to meet Wiggles." I was like, it hasn't even been 8 hours. So I met Wiggles, and she was a perfect fit right away.
Right.
She's great.
Well, and Wiggles, and the funny thing about that is, and it's amazing, the Lord works in mysterious ways, but what's amazing about that is shortly before y'all had that conversation, my wife had told me, by the way, Stephanie is my wife. That's the agency that we support. If you're a fan of the podcast, you've heard about it before, saveastray.org. Please check them out. If you're looking for a dog, they're fantastic, or a cat for that matter. They're fantastic at placing you with the right animal. But shortly before that conversation, she had said to me that we were fostering Wiggles, and Wiggles was just tremendous. And I said, you know, I'm always looking to bring a dog to work, because you may know this if you're a fan of the podcast, you've heard it, that we are direct level and administrative assistant level pet friendly, and they can bring their dogs to work. And I'm the only one that doesn't bring a dog to work, and I've got 5 at the house, so I'm usually bringing fosters. And Stephanie said Wiggles needs to be the mascot at Personal Edge.
She's perfect.
And she is. In fact, Arika is a wonderful mom. You know, of all your children, who do you spend the most time with? I won't make her answer that, but Wiggles happens to come to work every day.
Next question, please.
Wiggles happens to come to work, which we love having Wiggles here, and I appreciate you being such a wonderful home to Wiggles. So that's for sure.
I'm a new dog mom, so I'm still, you know, I'll text Stephanie all the time these random questions, and she's kind of my spirit animal guide and on this venture in life. I can talk to you about babies and kids, but I don't know. I'm still learning on the dog mom.
Yeah, and the interesting thing also, Parker. How far apart? Now, Parker was born how far apart from Josiah? The Josiah is Josh, our Eastern Shore
3 months.
director.
10 weeks?
Yeah, real close.
Real close.
Because I know you and Mackenzie were pregnant about the same time. So we had clients that were a little unsure about drinking the water around here, because we had Parker and Josiah so close by, but it was wonderful. It was fantastic, and great additions to our family. So. Anything else you want to add as far as your position or working here, or that I've forgotten to ask you? Don't bring anything up embarrassing about me.
Okay. I don't know. I love, you know, being involved in fitness and inspiring other people in some way, on some level, to be active. And I have adopted the water tracking method now.
Awesome. Love it. Yeah.
Drinking my 100 ounces of water a day, or I
Killing
try to, at least. And it's fun to track. And every time I drink a lot of water, I love to tell you about it. And
which I appreciate hearing about it. And actually, when we do
our water on my way to work this morning, like I got to tell Garrett. So
she's so motivational and so positive that when we do our Enter to Lose It program, we run every single month, and it's for clients and non-clients. It's actually a 2-week weight loss program, and where we see an average weight loss of right around about 12 pounds. But she is so positive, uplifting. There's a text thread that goes along with that. We have Arika on the text thread because she's tracking her water, and she's seeing it from a client perspective, which we appreciate, and it's been very, very, very positive. We had some great feedback about that too. In fact, our last one, I didn't tell you that. I had somebody directly say something about your involvement, and especially as far as the water was concerned. I'm not saying something like that. So anyway,
great.
Well, we're so glad to have you on this team, and I'm so glad to get a chance to introduce everybody to Arika. Since, like I say, if you contact us, you're most likely going to be speaking to Arika. It's Arika at some point in time, and I certainly hope that you're with us for a long time.
I plan on it.
I hope so too. So listen, I think the most important thing out of this, besides understanding how important this position was to us and keeping everything running smoothly, was the fact that we added a yet another positive person to our culture. And our culture is the most important thing about personalized fitness. You know, making people feel better about being themselves is our mission statement. And Arika is a wonderful part of that. She's a wonderful part of helping everybody reach their level of wellness. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you have any questions, reach out to us at 251-278-3343. Also, Garrett at personalizedfitness.com, or our website, Facebook page, and at Team PE on Twitter. Thank you for joining us today, and I hope to see you next week.